Léonie Girard had learned long ago that February demanded two kinds of armor in Montreal: a thick scarf for the cutting winds above ground, and keen observation for the labyrinth below. Since retiring from the school library and opening her little tea kiosk in the Centre Eaton corridor, she had found the subterranean network, the réseau, to be as intricate as any mystery novel she shelved in her former life. More than 30 kilometers of shopping arcades, art displays, and metro tunnels snaked beneath the iced-over streets, humming with the quiet bustle of commuters who preferred to ignore winter entirely. At 8 on Thursday morning, Léonie unlocked the roll-down grate of thé du chat noir, releasing aromas of bergamot and maple rooibos into the still sleepy passageway. Across from her kiosk, work crews erected the latest pop-up installation for Illumi Metro, the annual festival that sprinkled temporary artworks throughout the réseau. The piece looked like a field of acrylic reeds set into the tiled floor, each stalk capped by a frosted bulb. A plaque announced its title, Murmurs Polychromes. The artist herself, a petite woman in orange overalls and a paint-splattered toque, paced around the reeds, making calibration notes. Small amber lights winked randomly along the stalks like fireflies. Léonie waved. "Cold morning for you to be fiddling with electronics, Maya." Maya Roy shook frigid fingers and laughed. "The circuit boards don't feel the cold, Madame Girard. They only know rhythm." She pointed to a concealed speaker. "Tonight it will pulse in color to a soundtrack recorded in Parc Jean Drapeau." "Lovely." Léonie passed her a paper cup of Earl Grey before the young technician hurried off to another site. By 9, foot traffic thickened with office workers cutting from Peel Metro toward Place Ville-Marie. That was when Léonie first noticed the pattern. The lights no longer blinked randomly. They now ran through a deliberate sequence. 8 reeds flared crimson in rapid order, then 3 shone emerald, then 8 again, then 7. The recap played 3 times before reverting to its gentle amber twinkle. 8387, Léonie marked silently, translating seconds into digits the way librarians tally-call numbers. A quirk, no doubt. Still, a tingle of curiosity nagged at her. She noted other curiosities during lunch. At Galerie Saint-Antoine, a ceiling of fiber-optic strands flashed violet, white, red, white, green in measured beats, 45210, if one assigned numbers clockwise around a color wheel starting from violet at 0. Down near the Banque Royale entrance, a wall of LED cubes shimmered turquoise 5 times, paused, then burst lime 6 times. 8, 3, 8, 7, 4, 5, 2, 1, 0, 5 to 6. Brewed together, the numbers tasted like breadcrumbs. Léonie had stacked enough detective novels to recognize breadcrumbs when she saw them. That evening, she wrapped her scarf high, locked the kiosk, and crossed to the information desk where her longtime bridge partner, Inspector Youssef Haddad of the SPVM's fraud division, nursed a coffee before heading topside. "You've barely sipped," she scolded, pushing down his cup lid. "If caffeine goes cold, it becomes a misdemeanor." "A librarian who enforces tea law," he teased. "What's new in your empire?" She described the light sequences. Youssef listened patiently. "Art installations are supposed to be playful. So is Morse code, yet navies sailed by it." She stopped short, embarrassed. "I'm not claiming submarine espionage." He pocketed a donut hole. "Even so, your numbers mean nothing until they point to something real. Let me finish a money laundering brief first. After the weekend, perhaps, we'll stroll and play cryptologists." That would normally placate her, but that night Léonie dreamed of lights flickering over dewy decimals. She awoke certain she had misread the plaque. Perhaps Murmurs Polychromes was murmuring more than color. Friday's snow arrived sideways, yet underground the city felt almost tropical. Between sales of lavender Darjeeling and maple lattes, she jotted the exact timings of half a dozen installations. By mid-afternoon, she possessed a list: 8387 452 105 664 915402 01777. She flattened the page, recalling a map of downtown bank branches. Safe deposit boxes, she mused. For decades, high-net-worth Montrealers rented boxes whose numbers rarely exceeded 4 digits. Spreading sequences across multiple artworks could be a discreet means of telling clients which boxes contained their paperwork. No written trail, no email to hack. Just attend Illumimetro, memorize your combination of artworks, and proceed to the vault. Tax evasion. The phrase fluttered against the edge of her mind. Leonie closed the kiosk early and detoured through the tunnel that fed into the subterranean concourse of Banque Fédérale. A uniformed guard recognized her. Years of bringing leftover scones to the night shift had its perks. She lifted the sample pastry box. "Evening, Madame Girard. Deliveries for clients?" "Only for friends," she winked. "Tell me, how many safe deposit boxes does this branch own?" "Just under 800, last I heard." "Why?" "Oh, idle curiosity." She offered a cranberry scone, then slipped away before further questions. 800 boxes meant 3-digit numbers at most, yet her sequences carried 4 or even 5 digits. Not this bank, then. She thought of the Swiss global branch under Place Ville-Marie, rumoured to cater to clients fond of discretion and experimentation. That night she printed a colour wheel and assigned each hue the digit she had invented: violet 0, indigo 1, blue 2, green 3, yellow 4, orange 5, red 6, pink 7, white 8, teal 9. Switching wheels for each site could easily lengthen a code while escaping pattern detection. It was clever, exactly the sort of gentle intelligence a cosy villain would wield. Saturday morning, Montreal awoke to a carnival of salt trucks. Leonie merely tugged on thicker mittens and stepped beyond her usual route, clipboard under her arm. She counted flashes in the wide corridor leading to Complexe Desjardins, scribbled them down, then continued to Nordelec's artful underpass. Tugboat horns echoed from the river above. With each echo, a chandelier of glass snowflakes scintillated in pulses. 1387 again. Repetition confirmed intent. Someone was advertising box 1387 with gusto. Back at her kiosk, she brewed masala chai so often that cinnamon perfumed her hair. Maya, having finished calibrating another installation, stopped for a cup. She noticed the lists on the countertop. "Don't tell me you're rating us, Madame Girard." "I'm rating patterns, not aesthetics," Leonie replied, and explained her theory. Maya's brown eyes widened. "There's talk among techs," the young woman whispered. "Last night an anonymous donor paid to add 3 extra sculptures late in the schedule. The festival accepted because funds are tight. But my boss, Madame Carillon, said the donor insisted on proprietary control of the lighting sequences, no oversight." "Proprietary, is it?" Leonie felt her librarian instincts sharpen like paper cutters. "Dear, can you show me where these extra sculptures are located?" Maya hesitated. "If I get caught snooping, I'll lose my co-op credit." "You'll merely be guiding an old lady who reads too many mysteries," Leonie promised. They set off after closing time, weaving past kiosks until the crowds thinned. The first donor sculpture occupied a quiet alcove near Square Victoria. It was sleek, 3 metallic hoops suspended in a triangle, each rimmed with LEDs. The hoops glowed magenta twice, sea green 5 times, then gold twice. 252. A second piece glimmered outside the law offices of Carillon and Marchand LLP. a shimmering wall of points that cascaded indigo, white, indigo, teal, white, 18198. At the third site, a cluster of suspended glass orbs played a soothing harp recording while shooting sparks of colour, 0201 again. Add them together, and Leonie's stomach fluttered, 252, waiting 1, 80201. That didn't look like a single box number. More likely it was the phone number of a courier or an offshore account. Either way, patterns were tightening around someone with Madame Carillon's surname, owner of the law firm. Coincidence danced, but not in snowflake patterns. They ducked into a service corridor to discuss next steps. The corridor smelled of concrete dust, rarely used by shoppers. Overhead, a faint buzzing grew louder. Footsteps? No. A rolling cart. Hide, Leonie hissed, tugging Maya behind a stack of maintenance crates. Through a slatted vent, they watched Madame Carillon herself push a sturdy dolly loaded with 4 anonymous briefcases. A man in a black wool coat, tall, argyle scarf, shadowed her, muttering in clipped English. "Client expects the new sequence by tomorrow," he said. "Already programmed," Carillon replied. "Light cues trigger at 6 a.m. They'll catch the first commuter wave. Do not fret, Lucas." Lucas. The name rang dollars. He keyed open a door that led, if the Riso map in Leonie's mind was correct, to the private passage beneath Swiss Global Bank. As the duo disappeared, Maya mouthed, "What now?" "Now," Leonie said, "we borrow librarian stealth." She pulled out her phone and texted Youssef, "Found something snowy and illegal am Swiss Global Tunnel. Bring warrants and boots." Youssef's reply arrived quickly. "Can't get warrant on hunch, but I'm coming." Waiting idly invited detection, so Leonie decided on reconnaissance. She and Maya wriggled through the vent and followed the corridor, guided by faint conversation leaking through wall seams. They stopped at an innocuous metal door, labelled electrical, authorized personnel only. A bright blue pass card rested on a wall hook, probably forgotten by a distracted technician. Maya hesitated only a moment before swiping it. The door opened onto a cramped walkway overlooking a subterranean vault lobby. The air smelled of polished marble and discreet wealth. Below, Madame Carillon and Lucas unloaded the briefcases. A bank officer checked a clipboard. Numbers above each vault compartment glowed softly. Leonie scanned until she found 1387, 4521, 5664, 9154, 0201, 777, every digit the artworks had spelled. Lucas typed on a tablet. The safe deposit doors clicked open in sequence. Between them they placed small metal tins, each no larger than a paperback. No cash, no jewellery, only data sticks bearing embossed serial codes. Once the boxes locked again, the two conspirators shook hands. "We'll finish before auditors sniff us," Madame Carillon said. "Tomorrow our clients collect their drives. CRA can chase empty boxes." Evidence enough for Youssef, Leonie decided, if they could keep the duo here long enough. She texted Youssef their location, added, "Hurry." Then she got a stupid idea, which she followed anyway, because cozy mysteries reward audacity. Beside her, a fire alarm pull station gleamed red. She yanked. Instant sirens howled. Doors down the corridor slammed shut automatically. The vault lights flickered to emergency mode. Madame Carillon spun around, scanning for flames. Lucas swore in English. Sprinklers did not activate, fortunately, but bank protocol demanded evacuation. Footsteps thundered overhead as employees and a handful of late clients streamed toward stairwells. From above, Youssef burst in with 2 uniformed officers, guns holstered, but hands firm. He took in the tableau, briefcases, open vault panel, Carillon's startled face, and sighed toward Leonie. You couldn't wait until Monday. Monday the evidence would be gone, she retorted. You needed a red-handed present. Madame Carillon regained composure. There is no crime here. My clients store data, that is all. Your clients, Youssef said, producing a warrant he'd drafted en route, include shell companies flagged by Fintrack for offshore tax evasion. And your method of broadcasting vault numbers through public art meets the definition of conspiratorial communication. Lucas tried to slip past, but an officer blocked him. Maya, exhilarated, recorded everything on her phone for art student posterity. Within minutes, officers catalogued the briefcases. Each held an encrypted external drive, a notarized ownership letter, and a ledger of cash transfers routed through Liechtenstein and Cayman subsidiaries. Enough to make a revenue agent's Valentine's heart flutter. Youssef snapped plastic cuffs onto Carillon and Lucas. You have the right to counsel, and if your counsel is currently in box 777, he gestured toward the wall, I'm afraid it's unavailable. Outside, the fire alarm ceased. No smoke, no flames, only the acrid scent of embarrassment. Leonie exhaled a tremor she hadn't realized she held. Maya squeezed her hand. You're like Miss Marple with Wi-Fi. Miss Marple preferred knitting, Leonie said. I prefer tea. She turned to Youssef. Your kettles, he chuckled. Led the way, librarian. 2 weeks later, Illumimetro reopened with revised oversight. The clandestine installations were removed, their hardware repurposed for a children's light garden near McGill Metro. Maya earned an official commendation for assisting police and a summer internship with the city's public art program. As for Thé du Chat Noir, business doubled. Commuters now queued for Leonie's mystery tea, a blend she created from cardamom, Quebec blueberries, and a dash of peppermint. While they sipped, they asked for the story of the underground lights. She told it generously, but never revealed exactly how she decoded the color wheel. Every detective deserved a private bookmark. On a quiet morning, Youssef visited before court, grey suit crisp. We charged them with money laundering, tax evasion, and conspiracy. The Crown loves your notes. He produced a slim safe deposit box card, its numbers now public record, 1387. Thought you might like a souvenir. Leonie pinned it to her chalkboard beside the menu. Today's special, box blend were 1387, sweet but legal. Above ground, snow still patched rooftops, but underground Montreal glowed brighter than a mystery's final page. And whenever new installations appeared, Leonie watched their colours dance, not with suspicion, but with pleased anticipation. After all, stories were everywhere down here, stitched in light among the crowds, waiting for someone with librarian eyes to read them.